While I visited Korea, I came across this place that honestly felt like paradise for any ramen fan. It's a store that serves only ramen, and it had every kind you could imagine. What made it even more unique was that it was fully self-service. And when I say fully, I mean there wasn't a single employee in sight. I grabbed the ramen I wanted, put it to boil, and then chose any toppings I liked, all of them completely free. Once I was done, I cleaned up after myself and just left. Would you want something like this in your country?
I found it. It is here. They are not kidding. There's no one working here. You just do it yourself. Oh my goodness, they have every selection. First, we're gonna grab a tray. Then we grab a bowl. We're gonna go with this one. Let's get these in the bowl. Take this. We're gonna put in the topping. Now we're going to add some greens to it here. It was here and then here.
Yes,
oh.
it works.
Oh, there we go. Oh wow. Okay, so it just cooks my noodles. Oh, and then it cooks it for 2 minutes. Oh, that smells delicious. Wow. This smells delicious, and there's literally so many other options. I can't wait to try it. I'm gonna be here for a while. This is only my...
Come with me to a 24-hour self-serve ramen shop here in South Korea. First thing you'll notice is this huge shelf of ramen selection, instructions of how to do this stuff in both English and Korean, and tons of stoves. So you select whatever ramen you want to eat. It's time to start cooking. I mean, it's ramen. It's so easy to make, and this place has so many extras that you can add. So once you set your ramen up, there's a selection of veggies and eggs and cheese that you can add. Everything is free except for the cheese and eggs, but I mean, it's like 50 cents, so it's nothing. You put it on one of the stoves with hot water, and it starts cooking. So you gotta mix it around every once in a while just to make sure that it cooks well. I added egg and cheese because yum. While it's cooking, you can grab a drink, and you can even pay while you're waiting. You don't have to do it beforehand or after. You can do it while you're cooking. Kiosk is both in Korean and English, so it's super easy to use. Just find a table and sit down and enjoy your meal. So many different kinds of Korean ramen here that you can try. If you're ever thinking of visiting South Korea and you love ramen, this place is a must visit. It's just so cool.
Can you believe this 24-hour ramen shop has no staff? I went in at 12 a.m. and gosh, there's so much ramen to choose from. I picked this Nongshim hot and spicy one, and you can grab a drink from the fridge too. So to pay, you use the touchscreen and pay with card or cash. This cost me 5,500 won or $6 Australian in total. And a lot of you asked how things don't get stolen. And yes, there's CCTV cameras, but I think that's just a level of trust here that you'll pay yourself. Do you think this would work where you live? Now let's prep our noodles, and all of these side dishes are free. I added bean sprouts, spring onion and fish cake as toppings, and popped our ramen into the machine, which adds the water and boils it. I also got kimchi and pickled radish for sides and melted in some cheese too. And yay, it's all done now, so let's eat. This ramen is so good. It's spicy and beefy. I just love the soup. And this drink is so refreshing. It's fizzy and lemony. I love the post-it notes everywhere, and there's also a second floor here too. Who wants to come here?
I just found a 24-hour self-service ramen convenience store in South Korea. Come and explore with me because I am so excited. It's always been a dream of mine to go to a self-service 24-hour store. So as you walk in, you will see that there is loads of seating, and there are machines where you can make your ramen. And there is an entire display wall of different varieties of ramen that you can choose from. There's also a fridge where you can grab a drink. And then there's another fridge where you can add in any toppings as much as you like for free. They have all the utensils that you need, including chopsticks, spoons, bowls, pots, microwave, machinery. They even have an upstairs, and the wall is plastered with post-it notes, little memoirs from people that have visited this store. They've also got a separate cooking station and toppings upstairs for you to choose from too. So the store is completely self-service, which means that you can buy everything on this machine right here, and they trust that you will buy and you won't walk out of the store without paying. And that in itself is extremely impressive, because I don't know that there are a lot of countries in the world that would be able to operate on a system like this. It just makes for such a nice environment where you know that everybody is being respectful and has every intention of abiding by the rules of this place. Now on to the best part, cooking the ramen. Coolest thing about the system is that you get bowls that are made for these machines. They have instructions pretty much everywhere detailing the steps that you need to take in order to cook your ramen successfully. So I added my noodles and my bean sprouts into my bowl, and I figured out how to work the machine after after a couple of tries, and then my ramen was starting to cook. I picked the Shin Ramyun black noodles because they are one of my favorite instant noodles. They are so flavorful and delicious, and I don't know what happened on this day in particular, but they just tasted even better than I've ever tried them before. I then went to the condiment section, picked out some kimchi, some pickled radish. I topped my bowl with some fish cakes, some spring onions, and some chili. And again, I'm so impressed with the fact that you are basically trusted to take as many toppings as you like without taking it too far. I grabbed a can of Milkis on the side as well, and can I just say this was so delicious. I loved the vibe in here. It was super cozy and warm. There were loads of people coming in and out of here throughout the duration of my stay here. Everyone was just getting on with it, enjoying their ramen and having a good time. And this was one of the best experiences I had visiting Seoul, so if you are around, definitely check this out.
It is 3 a.m. I woke up severely dehydrated, so let's have ramen together.
This is open 24 hours.
And there's no workers here, so everything is self-serve.
Here, guys, they have vegan options. Yeah.
And a lot of halal options. I'm gonna get this one, which is a chicken noodle. Then on the machine, you just pay for what you got. I'm also gonna add an egg and some cheese. Here's a station with all of the ingredients you can add. I'm gonna get some fish cakes. And I paid for 2 eggs, so I'll get those as well. A slice of cheese and some spring onion. And then you bring it to this station where it actually cooks the noodles. This is steaming hot. These noodles are so soft and the broth is so good. Very chickeny. How's your ramen?
Well, it's nearly gone. So good.
They also have some beverages here. Pepsi Zero Sugar Lime. I give these noodles an 8 out of 10, but this overall place a 10 out of 10.
I'm literally so obsessed. Yeah.
From all around the world.
There's a new self-serve ramen shop in LA that looks exactly like the ones that have been going viral in Korea. I went for their opening weekend. Here's what it was like. First thing you notice is their giant wall of ramen. Many that you'd recognize and many that you won't. Can someone else try this green tea ramen and verify if it's good? Half the wall is stir-fry ramen and the other half is soup. I grabbed one of my favorite bulldog ramens and this one that looks like seolleongtang. I had no idea they make instant versions of it. You can add on toppings like dry mixes, cheese, and radish. Pick one of the Korean drinks they have. They let you sample them and then go to the machines to make it. They have quick tutorials on how to use them and it's easy. I made both at the same time and browsed other stuff in the store while I was cooking. They got a photo booth here and a ton of these mini claw machines. They're so cute. There's a gift section with things like a Squid Game style Gona kit and their fridge has drinks and freezer meals. My freezer is always stocked up with these. I made my drink. They give you an ice cup and you just pour it in. The ramen came out cooked perfectly. I love this broth soup. It was so comforting. And of course I knew the buldak was gonna be good. Make sure to also pick up a dessert. They had all the flavors of Malona. Perfect spot for a quick but unique meal. They also have free parking here, which is so rare for K-Town. Check them out. They're called K-Ramyeon.
This is crazy. In Korea, they have a 24-hour ramen library that apparently has every type of ramen that you could think of. So we're gonna go check it out. This is the spot. Oh my gosh. There's so many different types of ramens. Where do you even start? It's actually really good that it tells you the level of spice. That one's hot, that one's very hot. That one's hell. Oh my gosh, won't be going for that one. Over here is the medium and the mild section, which is definitely my kind of vibe. This one is mild and it sounds really good. And it also says it's #1 in Korea. So let's give this one a go. So give you this little pot to put it in. Let's just empty everything in here. Put seasoning on top. This one in as well. I think this is olive oil, which I'm not sure whether to add in now or at the end. I think we need to scan this barcode. There we go. It's doing it. It's so cool how it does it all automatically. So it's counting down 4 minutes. That's how long it's going to take to cook. It's bubbling. If we can start breaking it up a little bit. Ooh, it is softening. It's cooking up. Wow, it's looking good. And that is it done. That is the finished ramen. It seems to have soaked up most of the water. Maybe that's what this one does. This just looks so cool. The tables are basically big ramen pots, but let's give this a try. It smells good. That's a really nice flavour. Oh, I like that. It's like really soy saucy. That is actually such a cool convenience store, and the ramen costs 1,300 won.
You know those videos of people in Korea making ramen in a 7-Eleven at like 10 o'clock at night? Houston has that now. It's a DIY ramen convenience store. How cool is that? So you walk in and grab your ramen off the wall. They have every kind of Korean ramen you can think of, and then you pick your toppings and then just make it right there. And yes, they have the cups of ice you crack open, which is weirdly the best part, and somehow you can walk out of here totally full for like $9. Add it to the love list.
Did you know there's a 24-hour instant ramen shop in Seoul with no employees? They have over 60 kinds of ramen with different spice levels. There's even one section that's just called Hell. Once you grab your ramen from the shelves, you can add whatever toppings you want, like kimchi, radish, and bean sprouts, all for free. They have a fridge with drinks too. I got a banana milk, and then you check yourself out. It's all in the honor system and just $4 USD for the ramen and milk. Next, you cook it with their special ramen cooking machines. It only takes a few minutes, but it was bubbling, and these machines cook the noodles perfectly. I definitely felt the spice, so the creamy banana milk was the perfect drink to go along with this. You'll see the cutest sticky notes around the shop left by visitors from all over the world, so don't forget to add your own before you go.
I went to a 24-hour self-serve ramen convenience shop in South Korea with no workers, and honestly, I'm still mind blown from the whole experience. So they have a seating area upstairs and downstairs. The place is so clean and everything is so organized. They have the instructions in both Korean and English. And just look at all of this ramen. So many to choose from. So you start off by picking your ramen. I am a ramen girl, so I've tried a lot of these. So I figured this was the perfect time for me to try something new. I don't even know what kind it is because I did forget to translate it, but it tasted like something sesame. And then all of the toppings are free except cheese. They have different things like green onion, kimchi, radish. I just added a ton of green onion. And then from there you cook your ramen. As my ramen was cooking, I went ahead and paid for it. They also have a fridge with different drinks that you can buy, but I already had some water, so that was good enough for me. The total was 4,800 won, which is equivalent to about $3.14. The directions on the machine tell you exactly what setting to put it on depending on which ramen you picked, and it literally makes the perfect bowl of ramen. I was so lucky because I had the whole place to myself, and they have sticky notes and markers so that you can decorate the wall. As y'all can see, my ramen was delicious. The cleanup process was easy, and this was such a cool experience.
Today we are eating at a 24-hour ramyeon shop in Seoul that has no staff. Muin Ramyeon Pyeongnicheon, which means unmanned ramen shop, operates entirely on an honor system. They offer around 30 different varieties of packaged ramyeon with varying spice levels. They've got seafood, chapaghetti, and even halal and vegan options. Once you've made your selection, you'll complete your payment on the kiosk. My total was 7,000 won, or $4.70, which included a banana milk, and I did pay 500 won extra for a slice of American cheese. It melts so effortlessly into the broth, adding a creamy element and softening the spice a bit. The other toppings like kimchi and danmuji are free. Then follow the instructions for cooking your ramen, or have your husband cook it for you. Add your desired toppings and enjoy. I went with my tried and true poldak bokumyeon, aka poldak black pack, and I might be insane, but it tastes better in Korea. It's spicier than the American version and less artificial tasting, with deeper umami flavors. We came here around midnight on a Wednesday, and almost every seat was full, so we did wait about 20 minutes before going inside. Make sure to clean up after yourself and leave a cute sticky note if you like. As a foreigner who lives in a city where this concept would never work, I loved this experience.
Come with me to a 24-hour self-service ramen shop in South Korea. It was literally ramen heaven. They had so many flavors to choose from, and what's crazy is that there's absolutely no staff. You do it all yourself. Here are the bowls, the toppings, chopsticks, everything you need to make your ramen. They even had some cooked rice for you to add into it. I love spicy, so of course I went with the carbo. Then I added my bean sprouts and my seasonings. Once you're done adding what you want to your ramen, you place your bowl on this little stove and it pours the water, and then it just boils it for you. It boils for 5 minutes, I believe. Just stir it around a little bit, and while that's cooking, you can go ahead and grab your drinks and check yourself out. You can add any extra toppings that you added. I added cheese. They have like boiled eggs too, but I did not add those to my soup. To finish it off, I added some green onions, and voila, my soup was done. Here I am enjoying it. Comment below how much you think I paid for 2 bowls of ramen.
메뉴를 선택해주세요.
You all know how much I love ramen, so come with me to a self-serve ramen shop in New York City. Everything's ordered on this kiosk here. I picked a few toppings for $1 each, and then you pick your ramen from this giant wall. There is so much variety. They have Chinese ramen, Korean ramen, and even Thai ramen. I also saw so many unique buldak flavors. Most of these I've never even seen sold in stores. I decided to go with the Tom Yum Soup buldak ramen. Since this is a DIY ramen shop, there is this wall of machines where you make it yourself. All you do is press a button and then the water comes out. It'll start to heat up really fast and you can add your toppings. I'm adding spam, an egg, and 2 slices of cheese. This is my first time trying the Tom Yum buldak soup flavor. It had a ton of flavor, but I did not expect it to be so spicy. I'm used to the carbonara buldak, which is not nearly as bad. So I went downstairs to pick up a drink because I was coughing so much. I also saw they had these cheese coins, so I got that too. They make it right in front of you, so it's extra fresh. In all, I spent $19 here, which is definitely not cheap, but kind of expected here in New York City. But I was really happy with my meal, and this is more of a once in a while type thing.
Did you guys know there's a 24-hour ramen shop that has no staff whatsoever? I went during the afternoon and it was a small little shop that was completely stocked with all kinds of ramen they can imagine. And you know how to go with the carbonara buldak ramen as well as grabbing a drink to pair with it. Now in order to pay, you have to use this touchscreen kiosk and select the items you want to buy and pay with either card or cash. And mine came out to around 6,800 won or around $4.36 in American dollars. And once you pay, you go over to the self-cooking station where they have machines that cook for you. You grab a bowl and place your noodles inside, then press the button and cook your ramen. And once it's done cooking, you can even go to the side where you can add free toppings to your bowl. go. Now I know you guys are probably wondering, how did this place not get stolen? Well, they actually have a bunch of cameras all around watching you non-stop, so it's actually pretty safe. Anyways, it's time to eat, and this ramen was so delicious. Bodok is my favorite brand, and this was so creamy and cheesy with chewy noodles that soaks up the sauce. Spice was pretty high, but it was nice and flavorful, and you can actually taste the chicken in it as well. Plus, for eating, you can even see all kinds of colorful post-it notes stuck all over the walls around you. Then I tried this grape drink, which was so good. Incredibly refreshing with a crisp, great taste that was tart and sweet. And what's fun is that there's even a second floor where we can see a giant cup noodle in the middle. How cool is that? So let me know, would you come here? Would this shop work in your country?
It is not every day that your boyfriend discovers cheese on ramen for the first time, and it's not every day you find a self-serve ramen shop with the unlimited cheese and other toppings. This store in Seoul, South Korea is fully self-service, open 24 hours. So we picked out our ramen from the wall, matched it up with the picture on the screen, and then paid. These machines are so cool because it knows the perfect amount of water and cooking time for your specific ramen. And the paper bowls have these aluminum bottoms. I love how they have an example of a burnt one, but basically it's there so that the machine can boil your noodles, I think. Peter loved the touch of cheese so much that he went back and got a second bowl so he could put even more cheese on it. But that kind of put him over the edge. He couldn't stop falling asleep for the rest of the day. So he purchased a hoodie with a built-in neck pillow. I wish I were making this up.
This is a self-service ramen restaurant. Yes, no workers here. Just hundreds of ramen to choose from 24 hours a day. This spot is located in Seoul and based off the honor system. After choosing your ramen, you pay, then start cooking it yourself. They got the whole setup here. You can pick from any toppings to put on. Honestly, this whole thing was just so fun. You can eat for however long you want, just make sure to clean up after yourself. Would you eat here?
So last year when I was visiting South Korea, I found one of those 24-hour ramen shops that's self-serve and there's like no employees in there and you kind of do this whole self-checkout thing. Well, I live in LA and they just opened their version of this, I guess. It's called Slurp and Sip. And I guess this is going to be me kind of comparing the American version versus the Korean version. So they had a great selection, I will say. I'm a basic boy, and, you know, I went for my Bodok ramen because, I don't know, it's just a go-to. They also had a good drink selection. The ones in Korea literally just had ramen. You had to pay for all these extra toppings. So the ones in Korea, the one that I went to in Korea, they didn't have all these additional things that you had to buy. It was $7 for my one pack of that regular Bodok, and it came out to $16.99 for all of my stuff. That's more expensive than regular ramen. There's some free toppings that you can add, like green onion and like lime. You hit the button, they'll tell you which button you hit. So there is employees in this one. There's actually a lot of employees. I think like too many. It's kind of overwhelming actually. Like they're all up in your business. It's not as fun or relaxing. It's kind of stressful actually. They're like, keep stirring, keep stirring. And I'm like, just let me figure this out on my own. The one in Korea that I went to, I think like my ramen was like $4 or $5 US, maybe even less. And it had like so much more fresh kimchi and all these different kind of pickled different vegetables. And then this was the drink. I had like an apple aid. Yeah, the drink was good, but I don't know, guys. The food didn't hit the same. This was all right, but for $16, I don't think it's worth it. Like, you're literally better off getting regular ramen. What's the point? The whole point of these is that they're like cheap and quick and easy. So I don't know. It doesn't really make sense that they're like so expensive.
I can't believe I finally made it to the 24-hour ramen library. If you're like me and the thought of some delicious hot ramen late at night sounds amazing, then you're in luck. In Seoul, there's a place where it's literally filled from floor to ceiling with instant ramen that you could eat any time of the day. It's also located inside a convenience store, so that means you could load up your ramen with all sorts of toppings. All you have to do is pick your ramen, any toppings that you might want, pay at the cash register, pour your ingredients into the bowl, and then let the machine do all the work for you. That is, if you could get the machine to work. Once we finally figured it out, all we had to do was stir it a bit and voila, Seoul's satisfying instant ramen after a long night out.
So hot. So hot. Hurt my tongue.
So if you want to do something fun in Korea that you can't do anywhere else, definitely check out the 24-hour ramen library. Follow along to see where I go next.